What is going on, everybody? Come on, step into my office. Today, I'm at the Palm Cemetery here in beautiful, sunny, 108-degree Las Vegas. And today, I'm just here because I'm going to be doing a story about this cemetery's former employee that was not a very good person, very, very nasty individual. So I'm going to be doing that video and just kind of checking out some graves. I've done a video here before, Faces in Death. And so I'm just kind of walking around and just seeing, places that I've been here before. So today's video is going to be slightly different than the norm. I want to talk about an encounter that I had with a subscriber that did not go how one would like it to go. A little bit about my private life off of YouTube, just a little bit. So I get recognized from YouTube probably, I want to say, it varies. 1 month or 1 week I could be seen 4 times. The next week, or the next 3 weeks, 0. It just depends. It usually comes in batches and grows. Depends on where I'm at. And they always go great. People, they say, "Oh, I don't want to bother you." I'm like, by the way, if you guys ever see me in public, you never ever bother me. I love talking to people. I love them telling me about their life, about what they do for work. I have a good old conversation. Totally dig it. I'm very easily approachable. And so I've probably have had at least, I don't know, more than 50 encounters with people, probably 100. I mean, it's been a thing now. I would say over 100 people have recognized me, and I've talked to them throughout the years. And they always go good, like I said, except this encounter. This one didn't go according to how it normally goes. So I was in Council Bluffs, Iowa back in June. And Council Bluffs is a city that I like because there's stories there, but there's nothing to distract me. Omaha's right across the way there, but for the most part, I go to Council Bluffs to not do anything, to not do any videos, to not do any research. I basically stay there for 4 days, chill out, decompress, edit some videos. Several cities in the country that I go to where I just, don't do anything. By the way, if you're ever in Myrtle Beach, check that place out, very nice. So I'm in Council Bluffs. I wake up and I'm at Wally's World. And when I wake up, I'm in my van, it's hot. It was very, very hot that week. It was like in the high 90s, very high humidity. So I wake up and I'm on my way to Grand Island, which is about 150 miles away. I get out of my van, jump in the front seat, start it, turn on the AC because it's hot. And when I'm in my front seat, I notice that there is a minivan about maybe 200 yards away from me. It's a green minivan, I'm guessing a Chevy Venture or something like that. And it's very, very dirty and dilapidated. Have you ever seen a vehicle of somebody that when you see them, like there's trash up to the headrest, obviously they're either mentally ill or they're an absolute drug addict. Well, this van, whoever the owner, the occupant of it was probably both ×2. I noticed the amount of trash was absurd. So I didn't think anything of it. So I leave, and the first thing that I'm doing is to go get my coffee before I start driving. Go to McDonald's, get my coffee, come back, before I go get my coffee, I'm driving down the street, and I see somebody kind of driving by me, and they kind of pull up to me, and it's that dirty green minivan. And behind the wheel is this dirty looking, rugged looking guy. He looked to be late 30s, even though he was probably, he could have even been in his mid 30s, but he looked terrible for his age. White guy, shaved head, wearing a very dirty wife beater. Now, I can't talk about the way I dress because I dress like whatever. But this wife beater was not white like it should be. It was kind of like an off-white, more like a really dingy yellow. Probably matched his teeth or whatever, if he even had any. So he pulls up next to me and he's like honking and, you know, doing that. And I can't hear him because my AC is on because it's very hot. And I notice in his van, there's no dashboard. His van looked like a three ravenous, whatever that word is, pit bulls got loose in his van and just tore it to shreds. I mean, this guy has problems. So I looking at him and I said, okay. Now, my first thought is, this guy's crazy. He's on drugs, and I cut him off when I pulled out of Walmart. So I'm not gonna, normally in that position, or, you know, I would just kind of play, you know, just kind of leave or whatever. So I'm looking at him and I said, you know what, let's hear this guy out. Let's hear how I wronged him today, and I've only been up for 10 minutes. So I roll down my window just about eye level, and I hear him say, F you, man, F you, man, and he called, and I don't cuss on this channel, but he called me the B word, which is a female dog. And then he said ASS, so BASS, and then he called me the N word, but not with a hard ER, hard A. So like the hip hop kind, like, you know, brother to another mother, what's up, my, you know. And this is a white guy calling me this, and I'm like, okay, obviously this guy is very perturbed. It's very hot, it's very humid. I don't even think he has an air conditioner. Life is not going very well for him. I can tell he has seen better days, and those days were probably when he was a child. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And he says, you want to fight? You want to pull over? You want to fight? Now, I don't know if he has a weapon on him. And I'm protected at all times. But it's a lot of responsibility to be in that position. And you always want to avoid situations at all. Always want to avoid it. Just don't even bother with it. So I said, you know, I'm not doing anything now, and I'm gonna defend myself, but I'm not even gonna try to take it to that level. So this guy, he's like, F you, pull over, I'll kick your ASS right now, blah, blah, blah. And if you're not a man, or you're not like a macho man, or maybe you're like more of like the cowardly type, an average man is going to think like a caveman and want to just neutralize the situation by punching somebody right in the face. And that thought came in my mind for about half a second, and then I said, wait a minute. I would have a lot to lose in this situation. He has absolutely nothing to lose. This guy, I don't even think, if he even has a bank account, it's probably negative $206. I mean, this guy has nothing, like proverbial no pot to piss in. This guy has absolutely nothing. Burned all his bridges. Mom and his dad don't want nothing to do with him. His brother and sister, they shunned him. This guy, yeah, things are terrible, terrible in his life. He has nothing to lose. You don't want to mess with somebody that has nothing to lose. You don't want to bother with these people, okay? I have quite a bit to lose. He has absolutely nothing to lose. So I declined his invitation to fight. I got better things to do, like drive for the next 2.5 hours. And plus, there's a weird empty grave off the beaten path that I kind of want to go see, so I'm going to take a detour. I don't got time to play his games. So I just gave him, like, you know, I didn't flip him off or nothing like that. I didn't even cuss. I wasn't scared or I wasn't worried or nothing like that. You know, I got a saying from a song from Stone Sour, come whatever may. So if you're going to do it, do it. Do it now, do it later, do it soon, hurry up, I gotta go. I'm not a tough guy. If I were a dog, I would be a golden retriever, right? I'm a fun-loving family dog, but golden retrievers bite. And so I just started, I just ignored him, but I'm looking right at him because if he has a gun, I need to make a quick decision on what to do. So he's just continuing to yell. I put my window up. I can't even hear him. And then I said, you know what? Let me roll down the window again. So I don't know why, but I'm glad I did this. So I roll down the window again, and now I roll it up to my face because now I'm getting a little bit pissed off because this guy's like threatening me, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm not gonna pull over. I don't know what this guy has on him. And like I said, he has nothing to lose. I got much to lose. So his light turns green, and I swear to God, as soon as his light turns green, he's in the left-hand lane. I'm going straight. He yells as he's turning, "Go to a effing cemetery." And as soon as I hit the gas, I'm doing like 5 miles an hour. And I said, wait a minute. I said, this guy knows me from my YouTube channel. I got recognized, but not in the way that you want to be recognized. So 2 seconds later, I'm like cruising past the intersection, and I'm going like 5 miles an hour because I didn't know what to do, because now I'm like shocked. Like, that's the first negative interaction I've ever had. I almost had one about a year and a half ago. I know this guy wanted to say something to me, and I was waiting for him, but he never did. So I pull over to this like fueling station for trucks, and my first thought is, let's get this on video. I want to get this on video because I find it interesting. And I turn around in my van, and it is an absolute complete mess. If you don't live in a van, normally you're supposed to clean out your van once a week. Once a week, you got to go to the car wash, take everything out, vacuum it, and put everything back in. I haven't cleaned my van in 2 months. It is a complete mess. My gimbal, which is like the selfie stick that I use to keep my video stabilized, I can't find it. Now, I could have just took my phone and just started recording him, but once you start getting used to like the video on a gimbal, you don't want to have a shaky video or whatever. So I'm going back in my van, and I'm like tearing it up. I'm just like, where is my, I can't find it. I can't find it. And I'm like, and I'm like, should I just go chase him and just film him and antagonize him, provoke him to do something? And then, because the caveman in me starts infecting my brain like an amoeba, and it's like, go get him. Because after all, he did threaten you. And I do not like being threatened at all. By the way, segueing from really quick, because I kind of have ADHD. If you see that mausoleum across the street right there, right in the center, right where my finger is pointing, right there, Ted Binion and his dad, they're buried in that mausoleum. You can't get in there, but yeah, I wanna get in there, and if it's, and actually, you know what? If it's not that one, it's the one next to it. But I believe it's that one. Anyways, I might do a story about them later. Anyways, getting back to the story. So, like, now I'm pissed off. Now I want answers. I want satisfaction, like the Rolling Stones. And so I just say, screw the gimbal. I'm just gonna film it with my, holding it, and I'm gonna go chase him down. So for the next, I want to say 15 minutes, I double back out of the fuel station and I go to where he went. Now, I went back to the Walmart to go see if he was there. He wasn't there. I went back. I went to the other places that people that sleep in their cars or their trucks hang out at in Council Bluffs. Council Bluffs, if you've never been there, it's a very small city. It's a bigger city, but there can't be any more than 40,000 people in Council Bluffs, just off the top of my head. So I go to the TA truck stop, I go to the other truck stop, I'm going to the motels. For 15 minutes, I'm like scouring. I'm really looking for this guy. I don't want to beat him up. Nothing like that. I'm not trying to instigate any kind of violence. I want to get him on video, you know. So after about 15 minutes, I can't find him anymore. That's it. He might have probably got on the freeway and headed to Omaha or something. So I said, well, that's what I get for not having my gimbal ready to go. So after I'm done with this video, I'm going to buy me a gimbal and keep it just for situations such as like that, because sometimes they do happen. So I went to get my coffee and I ended up going to the grave, the empty grave that I wanted to see off the side of the road. Couldn't find it. Wasted about an hour of my time. Whatever. I'll be back up there this time. When I get out there next time, I will find it. So, you know, I say this to conclude this video. You know, me with the grave thing, with the crime thing, with the going to the locations thing, I sometimes do stories that the family probably doesn't care to see, right? You'd be surprised. I don't ever get emails saying like, oh, take that video down. I mean, I've got them before. Somebody sent me an email saying that as I was walking through a cemetery, I showed their loved one and if I could delete the video. And I said, no. But I don't recall ever getting a video from somebody saying, delete the video. No. I've gotten threats before, couple, maybe two. The third one was a veil threat. But other than that, I don't really get threats. I think most people like my content. And listen, trust me when I say this. And I'm not saying I'm not going to do it, or I am, whatever. I'm not, or I am. But I could do stories that, wow. There's a kid in Pittsburgh. This kid killed 2 people, a 14-year-old kid, psycho. I ran into his grave by dumb luck. You know, I was just walking around Googling graves like the Almighty High says that that's all I do, Googling graves. And I looked him up, and he had like a Islamic writing on it. This kid killed 2 people. He killed 2 people. He's suspected of a 3rd murder. And before the police were able to get to him, his enemies got him first, so they killed him. I wanted to do that grave so bad, but I knew that if I did, the family wasn't gonna like it. And I was like, some graves like that, I'm just like, you could tell like the family is garbage. They're a garbage family. They raised their kid like crap. They're probably all just a bunch of, weirdos and criminals or whatever, so I just don't bother with them. But, if I want to do a grave and tell a story and if the person was not a good person, I'm going to do it. Sometimes I'm just going to do it. Sometimes, whatever. So, and listen, I don't like doing too much of anything. I don't like doing too many older graves. I don't like doing too many newer graves. I don't like doing too many famous graves. You know what? Yeah. Would it be safer for me to stick to like older graves where 4 or 7 generations of the family are long dead and no one's going to say anything and you can kind of do whatever you want? Yeah, I could do that. That's boring. I don't want to do that. I like my channel the way it is. Yeah, some of my videos don't get the best of views, but those are, normally the videos that I care about the most are the ones that don't get the views, because these are long forgotten murders that no one's really talking about. And, I want to talk about them. As a matter of fact, talking about a murder, this grave right here, I might do a story about him. His family claims that he was murdered. I don't know. I personally, because he was an older guy, kind of heavy set, I think he was just doing drugs and had overdosed. But I have to try to find the hotel room where he died. But I'll still do the video. It's an interesting story. He's kind of like a local Las Vegas celebrity. Well, you probably want me to turn around and show the grave. Well, I'm not going to. You're going to have to watch the video. I know. I'm sorry. Don't boo me. Just, it's an interesting story. It'll only take me about 8 to 10 minutes to tell. I'm not going to bore you to tears. But rest in peace. We're going to cover your story while I'm in town. I was actually pretty surprised to see his grave. Because I knew of him because he would have commercials on TV here. So basically, what I'm saying is this: it's a dangerous game that I do on YouTube. Things are probably going to get more dangerous for me because I'm gonna ramp it up a little bit, ramp up the danger, create a bigger danger zone for me. And my purpose is not to get killed. I don't want to get killed. I don't want to get beat up. I don't want to get shot at again. I'll be telling that story on this channel. Find out about the time I got shot at. Yeah, we're gonna go revisit that location. So yeah, I'm in Las Vegas. There's gonna be some stories, personal stories of my life I might throw on this channel, or I might throw on my other channel, or I might throw in a video that I do about Vegas. So there's gonna be some videos in the near future about Las Vegas that have maybe they have nothing to do. I don't know. We gotta see. I love what I do. I love going to cemeteries. I love exploring true crime locations. Gonna start doing some other stuff, death locations. Start doing other stuff that could get me hurt. And I think maybe you guys will enjoy it. Maybe you guys will not like what I do. I don't know. I look forward to you guys saying, this video is awesome, or man, you're being a cringy D-bagger, and stop what you're doing. Who knows what the world has in store for me for the rest of this year. And I'm actually thinking about 2024, because by the time I get some of these videos out, it'll be wintertime. So without further ado, just wanted to tell you a quick story about that, and let me know what you think. If you ever have any ideas for videos. I know it's hard to send me stuff because I'm not the best at answering emails, and I'm only one person, and this country is pretty big. But Lamont at large stories at gmail.com, hit me up. And I don't really do videos with the families of murder victims, just because it's like I want to do the video the way I want to do it. But if you're out there and you want to talk to me, I'm all ears. So let me know. I'm more than willing to talk to you about maybe bringing some light to, and again, I'm not a big channel at all. As you can see, there's YouTubers that get 1.5 billion people, and all they do is this, and more power to them. I love it. I love their channel. So yeah. But again, lots of crimes committed, and I'm only but one man. But I got a TikTok. That's the main reason why I have TikTok, is to, sometimes it's a different platform, and sometimes people they don't like YouTube. They like TikTok. They like the quick videos, and I got Facebook, whatever. So, anyways, now I'm ranting. So. Before I end the video, I want to show you this grave really, really quickly. It's always amazing when I run into graves that you never knew something happened. These two girls, they were very good friends, Mariela Rodriguez and Maylene Rosa de Leon, and they both died in an airplane crash in Kenner, Louisiana, which is right outside of New Orleans. And I'd never heard of that plane crash. I'm not sure how many people died. I'll put it up on the screen, the amount of the victims. I believe what happened was there was some kind of I forgot what they call it, a microburst, which is, I'm not a weatherman, so I'd be lying, but it's some kind of, when air pressure is created, and you have like an up and down effect. And all those people died. And these two girls at the time, they were, I can only imagine the absolute terror, and I just flew out here, and I don't fly very often, but I am going to start flying more often. And I cannot imagine the absolute terror that they were going through, as that plane was like literally plunging, 1,000 feet, 2,000 feet to the ground. I close my eyes and see your smile bring sunshine to any rainy day. They're both very pretty. You know, when teenagers, or I think they were 18, so 18, you know, teenagers, I don't know what it is, but when I was a kid, I remember teens, like boys and girls looking a lot like older looking. Like today, they all look like they're 12 or 13, but it's so odd when I look at they look like, I mean, they're only 18, they look like they're grown women. It's so odd. I've always found that even in like the 50s and the 40s, you see like the old TV shows, and yeah, a lot of times those actors were playing kids, but you just see a lot of these older pictures of people, and they just, I don't know, they dressed differently, they did their hair, they cared about their clothes. It seems like nowadays, I don't know about you, kind of getting off the beaten path with this, but it just seems like when you pass by a high school, half of the kids are wearing pajamas. What is up with that? I don't get it. Do any of your kids wear pajamas? If they do, you need to kind of stop them and say, you know, pajamas are for sleeping in, not for going to school in. I've always been so interested in people and their pictures on their graves. That's why I called some of those videos Faces in Death instead of Faces of Death, which is to me some kind of a morbid thing. Faces in Death, still morbid, I'm not gonna lie, still morbid, but just kind of a play off of words. Just a play off of words. And then as I've gone to do these videos, I've realized that, you know, not everybody has pictures. And you know, I used to only do, at the beginning of my channel, I used to only show graves with pictures, and after that I got off of it, and I just you know, decided, excuse me, starting to get sick now, great, you know, but you know, that's when I started putting pictures in my videos, and my editing is still very rudimentary, but it fits my character. Not saying I have a rudimentary character, but I don't remember this lady being here at the time that I was here. 2021. Yeah, she died. She passed away after I left, so she wouldn't have been here because I haven't been to Las Vegas since January of 2021. But and rest in peace to that lady. And I will, you know, like I've said, I know I do live streams often to kind of just you know, keep you up to date on what I'm doing, but you know, I will be doing more traveling, and it is my goal to start making overseas travel a big part of my channel, because there's plenty of crimes that happen over there, plenty of graves. Everything is, you know, revolves around this country, but there's other countries out there. The world is a small place, and I think that as Americans, we benefit greatly by traveling overseas. And I do have a passport, have not used it yet, except when I went to the Caribbean. I had a good time. I think next time when I go there, I'm gonna go not on a boat, but I'm gonna fly. So that is my goal. That is my goal. And you know, part of my goal is to tell the stories of the people that have lived and dreamed and got promotions, had babies, experienced their first kiss, experienced their first, you know, losing their virginity. The weird things that I think about, but some people might think like, oh, you're a weirdo, you're disgusting, you're perverted. No, not at all. Not at all whatsoever. I'm a human being. I'm a human being, and all these people here that have been dead for maybe 5 years, maybe 50 years, maybe some of them even 75. They had the same feelings, they had the same emotions as me and you. And it's weird to think about, but this is the kind of brain that I have. These people experienced the same thing that you did. So to call me these silly words I am only but human as you are, I hope. Do you not feel? Do you not mourn? As we are alive, we all bleed and feel pain, just like these people did. I'm sure most of them were good, some of them not so good. And like I said, I know some people kind of wonder about my channel. They're like, why do you go to serial killer grave? Why do you go to bad people? Because they had a story just like you and me. Their story was bad and they did horrible things. But it's still a part of whatever you call history. If only I can digitize my brain and join the mainframe, the matrix, whatever you want to call it, and I can download all of these people's memories into my thoughts. Until I find that power, until I harness the power of turning myself into a computer, I will simply use the tools that are made available to me, and as they are made available to you, to look up these stories. History should always be taught, whether it's history from 100 years ago, 500 years ago, or 5 years ago. I don't know what level of time, amount of time constitutes history, but I started this video about, I don't know, 20 some odd minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. That's history, right? Let me tell you something. If you're still here watching, you are a good subscriber. I just let myself start talking. There is a girl. There is a girl here. I will find her when I'm done with this video. She was murdered. And the killer was found many years later. Nobody really knows her story, so I'm gonna get ready and do that video this week. She's probably over there because her marker is very old. As a matter of fact, her marker looks just like this. And she could even be right here. I'm not sure. All I know is that she's at this cemetery. And she died a horrendous death. Killed by an absolute animal who deserves, and that's giving animals a bad name, because animals, they don't do some of the things that humans do. So somewhere, and this is what I do when I'm not making videos. People wonder, like, hey, what do you do? I look down at the ground. I look down. Sometimes I look up, but most of the time I'm looking down. All right, guys, I've talked your ear off enough. Nobody wants to listen to my nonsense. I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.